Chuck, it's happened again.
What?
I just checked the poor box. It's been robbed again.
Well, that's 3 times in 4 days. Are you sure?
Well, I shook it when I went in to read my office. It rattled. I shook it again on my way out. No rattle. I opened it. Empty again.
And always at noon, too. Well, I think we should put the police on it.
Not yet, my boy. To steal from the poor, whoever he is, the poor man's at his wit's end.
Still, we can't allow it to go on forever.
I know. Poverty breeds pride. Perhaps he'd rather steal from us than ask for help. We must find the man. Save him from himself, as the saying goes.
I still think we should call the cops, as the saying goes.
We'll do it my way first.
Yes, Father. But how?
Well, don't use your imagination, man. He's bound to try it again.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
And when he does, we'll be waiting for him. Can you see me from there?
Not if you keep your head down.
Good.
I don't like this playing cops and robbers.
I'd rather have the man repent in front of us than behind bars. I want to trap the man only to help him.
Okay, Father, we'll do it your way. But are you sure you don't want me to take the first watch?
Well, it's practically empty. We need something to tempt the poor man with.
No, let me. Here.
How much did you put in there?
Oh, $50. 4 bits in change.
Couldn't we tempt him just as well with 1 bit or 2 bits?
Well, you can't bait much of a trap with a quarter these days.
Oh, you're right, my boy, you're right. No time to quibble.
Oh, Father, now, if you need help, don't hesitate to give a yell.
If there's any yelling to be done, rest assured it won't be me that's doing it. I just closed my eyes for a bit. What time is it?
1:30.
1:30.
Hmm?
Do you think I might have dozed off for a bit?
Well, you had the early mass this morning.
Was I snoring?
A little.
Well, if he came in, at least my presence would have scared him off. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't?
The box is empty, Father. He's hit us again.
Oh, no. You take over tomorrow, Father.
Hiya, Mike.
Hi, Father. I was just coming in for a little visit. I eat fast so I can make it every day.
Well, fine. How's the old arm, huh?
Just great, Father.
Good, I'll see you at practice. Don't forget I'm counting on you for the league playoffs, huh?
Sure.
Let's get to the point, Michael. Why were you stealing money from the poor box?
I don't know, Father.
Michael, is there something that you wanted? Something you were afraid I wouldn't give you?
No, Mother.
What were you going to do with the money, Mike?
I don't know, Father.
I don't understand it, Michael. You've never been in trouble before.
Oh, he's a model student, Father.
Was it a bet of some sort, or did somebody dare you?
No, Father.
You're protecting someone, aren't you, Michael?
No, Mom. Honest.
Oh, Michael, a boy like you stealing from the poor box, robbing the poor. Oh, a shameful act.
Yes, Father. Oh, you're going to write Dad? Are you?
That depends on you.
Am I going to get kicked off the baseball team?
Not permanently, but I think you'll sit out the next game. If you pull anything like this again, you'll be off for good.
Yes, Father.
And you'll replace the money? You, not your mother.
Yes, Father.
Father, could we talk alone?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, Mike, you can go back to class. Thank you, sister.
I think I know what this is all about.
Oh?
His father and I are separated, you know.
I know. 5 years now.
7. It is a reaction from his visit with his father out in California. Under court order, he stays with Ray 1 month out of the year. And he just got back a few days ago.
Have the visits upset the boy before?
No, Father, not exactly. But Michael is older, and I think it upsets him now. I don't know what Ray told him, but it certainly upset the boy.
Well, might be a good idea to get in touch with the father.
Oh, no, Father, why? Well, I can certainly straighten everything out. After all, I have custody of the boy.
Is that the only reason, Nora?
No, Father, it isn't. One of the reasons Ray and I separated was because he didn't think that I could work and be a good mother at the same time. This would just seem like proof that he was right.
I see.
I am positive, Father, that I can get to the bottom of this without bringing Ray in.
All right. You see what you can do with the boy.
Thank you, Father. You won't regret it. I promise you that Michael won't get into any more trouble.
Somehow I'd feel better if it were Mike doing the promising. Hi, pal. Here you are.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mr. Caldwell.
Coming. Hi, hippity hip hop there, huh? Here you are,
Hi,
Jerry.
Coach. You got a second?
Sure. Jerry, come in here a few, will you? What's up?
Mike isn't practicing, huh?
He's sitting out this game.
Chuck, did you catch Mike stealing money out of the poor box?
Why?
Well, the kids are talking about it, and if it's a lie, well, I want to bring it out in the open and put a stop to it.
It's true.
Oh, well, that's great. His father's a friend of mine. Ray asked me before he left to keep an eye on the boy. Kind of pinch hit for him when I could. Some pinch hitter I turned out to be.
Now, come on, Tom. One strikeout doesn't mean the game. I think the kid will straighten himself out.
I'm surprised I haven't heard from Ray. How'd he take it?
We haven't contacted him.
Oh, how come?
Well, it's one of those things where the mother's afraid the father will hold her responsible, you know?
You think that'll work out all right?
I'm not sure, but it was important for her to have the chance to work things out with Mike on her own.
You want me to play along, huh?
Well, for a little while, anyway.
Sure.
Come on, Mr. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, Mr.
Tom, let me know how Mike is behaving at the community center, will you?
Right. My friends.
Okay. Tennis, anyone? Good morning, sister.
Good morning, Father.
Oh, sister, tell me, how has Mike Corbin been behaving lately?
Fine, Father.
No problems?
Why, no, Father. If possible, he's been even better than before. A in English, A in geography.
Oh, thank you, sister. Hi, Tom.
Chuck?
I just stopped by to give you a lineup for Saturday's game.
Oh, fine. Mike's pitching. Back on the team. That's good.
Yeah. Say, Tom, how's he been around here?
Well, if you will pardon the expression, he's been a model boy. That's what bothers me. He keeps everything inside. You never know what the kid's thinking.
A feeling.
It's a shame the kid had to get into trouble like this.
Yeah, well, you can't expect kids to be perfect, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Father O'Malley, this is Nora Corbin. I just called to tell you everything is fine on the home front.
That's fine. Has he ever said why he wanted the money?
No. But he told me what he did with the money. He threw it away.
He threw it away.
In the river. We're replacing the money, Father, if that's what's bothering you. Give my regards to Father Fitzgibbon.
Oh, I will, and thank you for calling.
Yes. Goodbye.
I just checked the poor box.
Oh, not again.
No, nothing missing. It's been a week now since we were hit. That's a good sign, wouldn't you say? What's the matter? Something bothering you?
Oh, yes. Yes, Mike Corbin. His mother thinks it's a closed case. I'm not so sure.
I just can't think that the young Corbin boy is a delinquent. It's a disturbing thing coming from a broken home.
Yes.
He's a good boy, and I think our talk has put him straight.
Excuse me, Father, but there's a Mr. Osborne to see you.
Well, ask him to come in, Mrs. Featherston, please.
Yes, Father. Mr. Osborne, Father Fitzgibbon, and Father O'Malley.
Pleasure to meet you both.
I do.
Well, won't you sit down, Mr. Osmond?
Thank you.
Well, now, how may we help you?
Well, I'm not sure, Father. It's kind of an awkward situation.
What is?
Well, one of my customers, a good one. Well, I cashed 2 checks for her, and they both bounced. She's a member of the parish, I believe.
She?
Mrs. Nora Corbin.
Nora Corbin?
Yes, Father.
I just can't believe it.
1 check for 10 and 1 check for 20. Well, I know she's good for them, Father, but it's just something kind of fishy.
Fishy?
Yes, Father. When the checks came back from the bank, they were stamped signature improper.
Signature improper?
Yes, Father. I thought maybe you could sort of speak to her. It's kind of awkward. Maybe I shouldn't have cashed them for him.
Him?
Yes, Father. Her son, Michael.
What?
He said they were his allowance. I thought it was a lot of money for a kid. But you know how some people are.
Yes. Yes, we know how some people are.
Father O'Malley, Ray Corbin.
Nice to meet you, Ray.
Thank you, Father. I wish it could be under more pleasant circumstances.
Yes, I know. When'd you get in?
I just checked into the hotel. I took the first plane out after I got Tom's call.
Then you haven't seen Nora or Mike.
No, I spoke with Nora on the phone, but except that he's been taking money, I didn't really learn much. What's it all about, Father?
Sit down, Ray. That's what we're hoping you'll be able to find out.
I can't figure it. Mike has never taken anything in his life. Are there any other signs? Tom, you noticed anything at the community center?
No, whatever is bothering Mike hasn't shown up at my place, Ray.
You know, he was with me up to a few weeks ago, and he was fine. Perhaps it's a reaction to his coming home. He's wild about California. What is it, Father?
Well, nothing really, except your wife thinks it might be a reaction, too. A resentment to his visit to California.
It's funny how 2 people can witness the same accident and have completely different versions of what happened.
Yes, a little sad, too. Especially when the person involved happens to be their son. Ray, I think you should see both of them as soon as possible.
Father, would it be too much of an imposition to ask you to come with me?
Well, no, not at all.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It would have, shall we say, a calming influence on my wife.
All right, Ray. Well, this is Featherston. Father Fitzgibbon returns. Tell him I'm out in the call.
Yes, Father.
Oh, come in. Hello, Father.
Nora.
Hello, Nora.
Hello, Ray.
You're looking very well.
Thank you. Won't you come in?
Dad! Dad!
Hey! Easy now.
You're here.
Easy.
You're here.
Give your father a chance to breathe.
Are you going to stay, please?
Mike, you know why I'm here?
Don't look at me, Mike. Your father knows. That's why he's here.
Look, son. Sit down. Don't you think it's time that you started leveling with everybody? Well, let's start with the poor box. Why did you take that money? And why'd you throw it away?
I don't know.
Now, look, son. I know you've got your heart set on that game tomorrow, and I want to see you pitch, but unless you tell us, I'm going to insist that you don't play.
I was hoping you'd see me pitch. It's the league playoffs.
I know. Now, why did you take that money from the poor box?
Because
Go on.
I wanted to do the worst thing I could think of.
Why?
Well, because
Go on, Mike.
Because if I did something bad, really bad, they'd send for you and make you come home. Everybody was so understanding and everything.
But you had to do something desperate, like forging the checks, huh?
You didn't throw that money away, did you?
No, I have it hid in my room.
Michael, why didn't you tell me you wanted to see your father?
I didn't think you wanted me to.
But why?
Yes, Mike. Why? Go ahead. We're trying to understand.
Well, it's just that I always get a feeling that when I'm with my mother, I'm not supposed to talk about my father. When I'm with my father, I'm not supposed to talk about my mother.
Where'd you get such an idea, Mike?
I don't know. Just something I feel.
But Michael, your father and I aren't enemies.
Then why can't we all live together?
People can be friends without living together. You both love you very much. That's what's important.
Someday, Mike, when you're grown up, you'll realize that there just wasn't any other way.
No, I won't. I won't. I'm the only kid I know who's got a father for 1 month.
I'll go.
Didn't realize how much this had affected him.
Strange, isn't it, Nora, how children like to have parents. 2 of them.
What's the count?
2 balls, 1 strike.
You're really proud of him, aren't you?
Very. Aren't you?
Of course.
Well, at least we have one thing in common. We both love our son.
Do we have to go through all that now, Ray?
I was hoping we could before I left.
Ray, please.
All right, this is it, Mike. Put it past him, boy.
Come on, Mike.
It's a strike, Father. I like the way that boy works the batter. Who is he? That's my son.
Hey.
Our son. Good game, Father?
Oh, young Mike pitched a fine game out there on those bases.
Hey, son, you had me worried there for a minute. Great.
Give me a pitch, kiss. You should have seen your father. Every time you threw a pitch, he threw a pitch.
Good game, Mike.
Thank you, Father.
We're proud of you today, my boy.
This calls for a celebration. How'd you like to go out to dinner with your mother and me tonight?
Oh, I am sorry. I planned dinner at home, Ray.
But can Dad come and eat with us?
Well, of course, if he'd care to.
Dad?
I'd care to very much. It's a wonderful meal, Nora.
Wonderful meal, Mom.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you both enjoyed it.
Mom, is it all right if I go to the movies tonight?
To the movies? Well, I thought you'd want to stay here and talk to your father.
I'd like to spend some time with you.
We're not leaving till tomorrow night, and we can spend the whole day together. And I promised the guys.
Okay, go ahead. I'll help your mother with the dishes. Where are you going?
The Strand.
How much is the movies?
Usually 75 cents. I get in for a junior. $1. Hot dog. Thanks a lot, Dad. I'll see you tomorrow. So long, Mom.
Hey. You be a good boy. You're going to spoil him.
Only going to be here one more day. I don't think I can do too much damage. You know, I think that character wanted us to be alone.
What would he want that for?
Maybe so we could get to know each other?
Oh, we know each other, Ray. We know each other too well.
Bam! Something wrong?
I was just thinking of Ray and Nora Corbin. Sad, separated like that. And the boy needing them both.
Yes, I guess it's all too popular a cocktail these days. Marriage on the rocks.
You know, when I saw them today, I thought of their wedding. How happy they were. Both young. How much the world seemed to have to offer them.
Yes, and now just another broken marriage.
You know, it's like when I was a boy. We'd go down to the shore. A cruel shore it was. And I'd see the wrecks of great vessels thrown up on the rocks, battered by the waves. And every time I saw one of those wrecks, I'd think of the proud launching. The flags, the happy crowds, the hopes and plans for the future. And that's the way it was today with the Corbins. In their broken marriage, I can still see the fine launching.
Yes, Father, if they could only remember the fine launching. But I guess when it's over, you forget the good and joyful and remember the bad and the bitter, huh?
Exactly. And the way one party tries to prove how right he or she might be is to go on concentrating on how much the other is wrong.
Yes, isn't it true of all of us? We've had the gift of language for thousands of years, and still the hardest two words to say are, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's all right. They're second best dishes. Remember, those were a present from your Aunt Laura.
Uh-huh. You got custody of those, too? You've changed, Nora.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Well, you're more mature, more assured. But then I expect we've both changed.
A couple of empty-headed kids we were.
The things that used to make me mad.
You had a violent temper. Well, I guess I did, too. I remember that you used to hate doing dishes.
I know.
We're getting older, I guess, huh?
Well, it would be nicer to say that we're mellowing. You go out often?
Out?
You know, out.
Oh, now and then I go to the theater or dinner. There's a man, John Franklin, at the office. He takes me out every once in a while. Does that bother you, Ray?
No, of course not. After all, you're a very attractive woman.
Thank you very much.
No, I mean it. It would be absurd to expect you to sit at home and twaddle your thumbs.
Twiddle.
Twiddle.
You really have changed, haven't you?
Have I?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the last of the dishes. Shall we go into the living room? There you are.
Did you ever think what would have happened if we'd stuck it out?
We would have killed each other.
Maybe. But I don't know, I like to think that... But maybe you'd rather not talk about it. We can just skip it.
Oh, no. Go ahead. I want to know how you feel.
Well, you see, seems to me, our trouble was that we didn't have to make it work. We both of us had our convenient escape hatches.
What do you mean?
You had your job to fall back on. I had the offer of an assistant professorship in California. I didn't tell you, did I? Full professor now.
Congratulations. Where would we be without them?
Without what?
Without our escape hatches.
Together.
All right, I should have gone to California with you. But I was making more money than you were.
Probably still are. I'm not sore about it anymore.
Don't look at me for a minute, please, Ray.
Okay.
I'd give anything to have those years back.
So would I. But what about the years ahead?
Ray.
I love you. I love you.
Yes.
Do they still run double features at the Strand?
Oh, wonderful news, Father. Wonderful news. How do you suppose it happened?
Well, perhaps they took a good look at each other and forgot the bad and the bitter.
And remembered all of the good and the joyful. I thought there was something stirring at the baseball game.
You did?
I have a sixth sense where these things are concerned.
So you do, Father, so you do. I only hope it takes.
Oh, don't worry. It'll take. They've grown up. Now they've...
Matured?
Exactly. After all, they're 7 years older.
Well, I suppose so. But if age alone brought maturity, we'd all be a race of geniuses.
Let me help you.
Where's Mike?
George and guys came by. I told them to go ahead. He'll be back before I leave.
Thank you. You know, you could take a later plane or wait until tomorrow.
I know. But I do have a job to get back to, remember?
I hope you still like kielbasa sausage. What was that for?
Do I have to have a reason?
Excuse me. Hello? Oh, hello, John. I'm fine, thank you. Today? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to spend time with Mike. Yes, but thank you anyway. See you at the shop. Bye-bye.
Who was that?
Just John Franklin. Had tickets to the ballet.
Hmm.
It was very nice of you.
7 years ago, that would have bothered me.
John Franklin? You don't even know him.
Why couldn't you have said my husband is here instead of lying to him?
Lying to him?
You said that you wanted to spend the day with Mike.
Oh, don't be silly. That's the
Now,
first
look,
thing that came
look,
into my mind.
Don't think that I'm butting in.
I don't.
Or that you owe me an explanation.
Look, all this just because...
Look, let's drop it.
Good idea.
You know, we've been avoiding the obvious question, haven't we?
Have we?
When are you and Mike going to be able to join me in California?
You're taking an awful lot for granted, aren't you, Ray?
Oh, what?
Well, New York is my home. My roots are here, and my business is here.
Somehow I didn't think that would be your answer. Or maybe I just hoped that it wouldn't be your answer.
What'd you expect me to do? Leap for joy at the prospect of giving up my home and my job?
Oh, Nora. It's as if 7 years had never happened. We're right back where we were before last night.
Just because I won't pack up my bags and go running off to California? Couldn't you meet a person halfway?
Well, if I met you halfway, we'd be living in Kansas City.
There's no time for a joke.
Nora, you take everything so seriously.
Listen, you're established now, Ray. You could get a teaching job here. What difference does it make where you teach?
Quite a bit to me.
Then there's a question of money.
Oh.
Well, it's a fact. I do have a very good income. I make a lot more than, well, most men do.
Nora, let's not play that tune again.
But I'm stating a fact. You can't be an idealist all your life.
Nora, what it boils down to is that you simply will not give up your job, your very fine income, your friends, your freedom, your career.
You know, Ray, you always did have a tendency to be very selfish.
I'm selfish. If they gave medals for selfishness, you'd be a general.
Don't you have a plane to catch?
I was a fool to think that we could work things out. All you care about is Nora Corbin. You don't care a thing about me. You never did. You're incapable of giving. Go ahead. Get hysterical. In this emotional atmosphere, is it any wonder our son is becoming unstable? Acting like a little crook.
Mike.
Oh. Mike? Just leaving. Had a plane to catch. I was waiting.
I hate you, Dad. I really hate you.
Well, have you got anything else to say?
You'll find out just exactly how much more I have to say.
Mike, I think you ought to write your father.
Why?
To apologize for what you said to him yesterday.
But I'm not sorry.
But you don't hate your father. You always look forward to your visits to California.
The things he said about me.
But he didn't mean that. He was just trying to hurt me because I had hurt him.
Mom, why does it have to be like this?
Because people make mistakes, even about marriage. And when that happens, it's best to admit that it's a mistake and try to forget it.
But you can't forget it. You're always talking about Dad, and he's always talking about you.
Well, people can love each other even though they're not happy living together. Do you understand?
No.
But you will write the letter.
Yeah, Mom. I'll write it.
Oh, somebody at the door.
Registered mail. Please sign here. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mom? What is it? What's the matter?
From some lawyer. Your father's going to try to take you away from me.
I do hate him, Mom. I do.
Dear Mrs. Corbin, this is to inform you that our client, Raymond Corbin, has asked us to instigate custody proceedings for his son, Michael Corbin. Henceforth, all communications with respect to the matter will be handled through this office. Yours truly, Harold Powers, Powers, Lorch and Price, attorneys at law. Well, what happened? I thought you two had patched things up.
We had a terrible, stupid, senseless fight, and that's his way of getting back. But he's not going to take Michael away from me.
No, I'd hate to see this go to court, really.
Oh, I'm not afraid. Oh, I know they will. They'll drag in everything about the poor box and the checks and a lot of other things to prove that I'm not a fit mother. But it won't do them one bit of good. I can take it.
What about Michael? Can he take it? Now, look, you two have got to sit down and work out your differences. Ray still in town?
Yes. I called him to tell him that his silly threats were not going to frighten me, but he hung up on me.
Do you mind if I speak to him?
If you wish, Father. But, you know, Ray is a very vain and stubborn man. I'm afraid it won't do you any good.
Well, I'll at least have the satisfaction of trying. Do you have that, Nora?
Look, you can tell him, Father, that if he wants to go to court, I'm ready for him. You can just tell him that, Father.
Yes, you're ready for your day in court, but are you ready for the days after? Nora, you don't put out a fire by throwing gasoline on it. Take it easy, Nora. Take it easy. Take it easy, Ray. Take it easy.
I'm sorry, Father. It's hard not to be emotional. I've come back once again, tried to make it work, but her pride, her selfishness, wouldn't let it work. No, sir. I'm sick of being a 1 month a year father. Mike needs me. You know, I've got to think of him. He's got a fine future, but living here with her, he's well on his way to becoming a neurotic, and I won't stand for that.
Ray, going to court isn't going to solve any of your problems. You're going to walk out of court the same person you walked in.
Except that I'll have Mike with me. I know I sound like a heel.
Yes, you do.
But there's no other way, believe me.
Would you meet with Nora? Talk this over with me and Father Fitzgibbon?
Nora agree to that?
Yes, she agreed to that.
Wonder what she's got up her sleeve now.
Now, Ray.
Look, you don't know Nora. Underneath, she's a cold, calculating, shrewd person.
I can't believe that, Ray. And I can't believe that you believe it either.
You'll see. You'll see. Nora, you don't know what he's like out there with me in California. He's a different boy. He loves the life out there.
Isn't it possible that part of his enthusiasm, perhaps most of it, comes from your telling him how much he's enjoying it? You're selling him California and yourself. It's easy to be the perfect father 1 month out of the year.
Look, we're never going to see eye to eye on this. What if he spends 6 months with you and 6 with me?
No, I'm sorry. I can never go along with that.
Then what do you suggest?
Well, let's just ask Michael.
Nora.
Well, that's what they're going to do in court anyway.
But the purpose of you two getting together was to avoid going to court.
Well, Father, I don't see the difference in facing the issue here or in court. Michael is in school. Why don't we send for him and here and now ask him with whom he'd prefer to be, his father or me?
See, Father?
I'm shocked at what I've heard here. First, the pair of you both say you love your son.
Father.
Nora, please, don't interrupt.
You love him, but you've made him the object of a very cruel joke. His father loves him, his mother loves him, but they both love their careers more.
Look, if we could just...
Ray, let Father finish, please.
Now, Nora, is this your idea of working out your problems? Asking a boy to choose between his parents? And you, Ray Corbin, that your son should be treated like a lost dog? That he should pick out his rightful master? I think it's time you both stopped thinking of ways to dissolve this marriage and started thinking of ways to repair it. Well, I'm waiting to hear one of you say, I'm sorry, let's try it again.
It's no good, Father. How long can we go on trying?
Ray, Nora, your marriage lasted 5 years, but how long did you actually live together?
Ray in the service, 14 months, 15 months, I'm not sure.
15 months.
Don't you realize that the only way you can solve the problems of living together is by doing just that? by living together, not running away. Love always means a sacrifice, but true love makes the sacrifice a joy. Am I getting through to either of you?
Smart me, Father. I can't speak for Nora.
Nora?
I'm sorry, Father, but the issue here is not us. It is Michael, and I'm not going to give him up. I say let's put it up to Michael.
No, you don't have to. I'm calling off the lawyers.
Oh, you mean you agree that I should have custody of my son?
Yes, I agree.
Where are you going?
Back to my home in California. Tell Mike I'll write. I don't want to see him. I think he's upset enough already. Thank you both for trying.
You see, Father, he was afraid he couldn't face it.
Nora, 7 years ago, you and Ray were too immature for marriage. Ray's changed. You haven't. Maybe you'll never be mature enough. I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, Nora, don't you see? Sure, Ray was afraid. He was afraid Mike couldn't face it. He was afraid because he knew what it would do to the boy.
I suggested a very terrible thing.
It was a very cruel thing you suggested.
What's happening to me? I was never like this. I'm filled with selfishness and bitterness and hate. My life is filled with it. Why?
Because you're pushing out of your life the thing we all need. Love.
But what can I do now, after what I've done to Ray?
There's always a good way to start. To start by saying, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Father. Ray.
What is it now?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I said in there.
I'm sorry, too, Nora. For a lot of this. But mostly for the past 7 years. I love you, Nora.
I love you, Ray. I need you. Michael needs you.
Where to?
Where to, Nora?
California.
California.
You make a left turn. Keep driving till you see an ocean.
Feel good, Father?
Always do, Chuck, when I see a fine launching.